more and more voices are coming into this Colorado River discussion. And as I was listening to Jason, because it struck me that because of the federal money that's going into, okay, how can we help you guys adapt? It's a perfect moment to say, how can we help some of you retire and your heirs can do something else like carbon sequestration? How can we maybe avoid so many golf courses and do something else in the Southwest? And using that money, which are big incentives, they come from those statutes, but the bipartisan stuff from this administration, but they're still being implemented. So I think there will be calls for more money, as of course there always is. So I think it would be a pretty interesting opportunity to sort of use that money or craft how that money is directed along the lines that Jason was talking about, to really figure out how to bring more of the environment into agriculture. And that, I think, will allow the Colorado River Basin is not half of the U.S., but it's a big chunk. And that will allow more preservation of natural habitat for species.
I think that we have to look at these things in the long term. I noted that John was talking about Vermont being the Green Mountain State because it's so green, but let's look at the colonial period when 90% was cleared for farming and ranching. And then it was retired because it wasn't feasible and it moved on. The same with the Adirondacks. I think we have the ability to bring nature back, not biodiversity, but ecosystem services and water functions, etc. But the biggest issue, I think, is not just to create awareness, but also then strategies that work. And we are at an inflection point where a lot of people want to retire, they want to make a living, they want to stay on their properties. They don't have heirs that want to farm. They've paid their way through schooling and technical skills to get to other places, but they are the perfect people to be stewards of this if we can show them how to make money and create markets that they can actually make money staying where they are, because they will be guardians of this area once they see that there's a living in it. But I want to go back to the awareness piece. And at one point in my career, the Grateful Dead did a rainforest benefit, and it was actually almost 36 years ago to this day, September 24th in 1988. We did a big press conference. It got about 1,500 clips. I started working with companies to buy rainforest products to create money to protect those forests. And what we found when we did focus groups was in Chicago, in Boston, New York, Atlanta, and San Francisco, not a single American knew what a rainforest was. Now, that's only 36 years, and we've come a long way since then. But there's a difference between awareness and action. And I think now we need to get the action in place. And that means inevitably around land use, it means policies. It means policies that help these adjustments happen, that allow them to be tax deductible. I mean, why do we have foundations in the US? Because people could park their money there and not pay taxes on it. Well, we need to figure out a same way to move forward. Maybe it's land trust, maybe it's other kinds of things, but we've just scratched the surface of that.